So guys, this is the long-term review on the Tisas DS9 Duty. I have around 3,000 rounds on this pistol now with a various setup of optics on here. I am back to the Holosun EPS carry on it because this is the one that fits the best on it. I had a Vector Optics Frenzy 1x17x20, which you'll be able to see the video right here. I'll link it for you. But that performed well. I just lost the battery door on it during a class. I didn't tighten it down enough and I lost it. But I can put it back on now because I do have the newer Vector Optics 1x17x20, the MRT version, which you can see that video right here as well too. But I want to showcase that this pistol has been holding up and it has been performing very well. I don't know if I lost zero because I did put this on another pistol, which I didn't have to zero it because it just went straight to the target where it needed to be. I'm not sure if it's still on zero now, but we're gonna run it on some paper and find out. I am also using 124 grain rounds from Freedom Munitions. This is the competition loads, and this is what I have been running the most out of this pistol. They do run the double stack mags, and these are 17 round mags. I have some extendos from Staccato as well too, so they work and I haven't had any problems out of them. But just for liability's sake, I'm going to use the stock mags on here. This is just a quick follow-up video on the Tisas. Let's check out zero and see if we're still on. Pull that low and left. Okay, we will need to shift it over just a slight bit to the right, but other than that, it's still holding zero after all this long time and all these rounds on it. Also, this is one of by far the smoothest pistols that I have and have shot or owned. It's almost ready to air rack now. I say with another 1,000 rounds, I would definitely be able to air rack this thing. There we go. That puts me into the zone. All right. Uh-oh, I think our bullet is going to change up because I do see some different rounds in here. As of to date, I have around, like I said before, the 3,000 round mark. It's just been running and I don't even have any lube on it right now. So it's definitely been doing its job. So it has definitely been one of the more reliable 1911s that I have had on the channel and owned as well too. I did have one of the Regent 1911s that was chambered in 45. It would just not run. It was probably one of the worst pistols that you can own as far as reliability. So what I have in mind for this pistol, if I can find a red dot that has a wider window, I don't mind using the EPS carry. I've used it before in competition, which is fine, but I do like to have that wider sight where I can actually see more information where I'm aiming at. If I can find the correct place, I would use a bigger dot as well too. I know it looks a little funny. I have one right now. It just will not fit down to the slide like it needs to. All other RMSC style optics that I have will fit it, but those with the riser plate to get a bigger window, it just will not go. So if any of you guys know any competition dots that's in RMSC or any adapter plates that can fit to accommodate a larger sight, please let me know. Got about 8 rounds. Let's just go ahead and rip them, see how the recoil looks. Every one of them is in the A zone. Every single one of them, except for the one that I pulled. Just off of that fire rate alone, the dot did return back to zero very well. It just bounced and tracked right into the A zone. So let's go ahead and check that out. As you can see, all the shots hit into the A zone and it did track straight into it. I did drop that shot right there, but that was the initial sight in. But still, at that firing rate, it was pretty decent. I want to say I'm around 8 yards, give or take, but it did handle that very well. I handled it very well. No, so that's 15 yards. I just paced it off. It is 15 yards away, but I gotta say, I'm handling it a lot better now simply because I have been doing a lot of USPSA shooting and a lot of training. So that does tend to translate over to my shooting style now. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna rip a few doubles, maybe a mag or two. But I just want to get reacquainted to it because I am going to step into the limited optics area. So let's go ahead and start getting some training for that. I'm fairly decent with the striker fires. I have to get over the defeating the safety on these models for right now. So let's just go ahead and rip a few doubles. See what that looks like. Two C zones. It's coming from defeating that safety. So that's what I have to work on. The first shot was a 214 with a split of 2.6. That trigger is pretty good on there. Recoil just went up and down. Those were C zones, but they were close to the line on the A zone. So I'm working it. We'll figure it out. That draw is a little slow though. Two A zones. They were stacked, like stacked. Still getting those 2-second draws. I gotta work on it. I mean, it is what it is. One very, very low. Stacked. Yeah, those are like, shoo, they're stacked. You could drop a quarter on top of those. Yeah, they're all just lining up. Now they're hooking into where they need to be at. I got 3 more rounds. I think I'm gonna add a transition into my other target over there. I need to start getting that snappy target acquisition. So this is where you lose a lot of time in USPSA, and I'm learning this. But when you're working with the master shooters, they show you the ropes. So whenever you draw, I mean, it's all right to have a slower draw just as long as you're nailing those A's. You want like a 10% hit for C's throughout the stage in order to get it the highest hit factor as possible, but keeping a fluid motion as far as you're walking. And that's something that I'm getting acclimated to as well too. I didn't get humbled when I went into USPSA because I already knew what type of shooter I was in the level already. Being around the high-end shooters, I already knew that I was going to be on the lower end of the totem pole. But I did come out a little further than what I actually thought. So I lowered my expectations and it actually put me in a better standing and mind frame. But that's not to say that I'm still not going to get humbled, and I'm not humble. So what we're gonna do now is hit some of these transitions. So I'll do 2 shots, 2 shots. And like I was stating before, that's where you lose a lot of time. So when you pull up and you draw, you lock your eyes, you want your eyes to shift over to your target before you make that shot or let it crack. So up, eyes focus. You don't have, well, you can turn some of your head up, shoot. As soon as you let that second shot off, you want to start transitioning. Make sure your eyes are there first, but you want to transition over to your other target as soon as that shot comes off, and you want to get on target as soon as the pistol comes back into your sight, or the dot comes back into your sight on the target where you're looking at. Like I said, I have 3 rounds. We'll just go with the flow on it. Okay. Those look pretty good. That was a low A zone. Both of those shots, all the other shots are in the A zone now. Just had to get back used to this pistol. Well, say I'm stacking them up in the A zone fairly decently. Let's just go ahead and keep on moving. That's the transition that I'm looking for. Held accuracy throughout the whole thing. So that's the type of transitions that I want. Had a flinch and somehow I still ended up getting into the A zone. That blows my mind a little bit. Let's see here. Got enough for a few more. That's a little weird, but I'll take it though. That is what I'm talking about. That's how we get it. This is why you train right here, to refine what you're doing. That felt very good. Everything is in the A zone. This is what I need right here. And that first shot was a 140 with a split of 031. I will take that all day long. That is the type of performance that I'm looking for. So we got enough for, I'm gonna just do one and then transition. Then I'll give y'all my final thoughts on this pistol and my performance, and I'll let you see the target so you know that I'm not lying. I missed. I had a huge mic. Huge mic. I overshot the target. It is what it is. That's what happens sometimes. But hey, overall, I'm satisfied with that performance. Now let's take you down to the targets. This is what I was telling you guys. So don't think that I'm ever shooting you some BS. That was the one that I dropped down there. I had a few C zones, well, a couple of C zones, but then right at the end, like I was saying, I started to dial them into the A zone there. So out of all those shots, I had 10 in the A, 5 in the C, 2 in the D. D. But that is that target, and then this is my transitional target. As you can see, that was fairly decent as well. I had 2 pretty high, and you can see where I was pulling over to the right, trying to transition to this as quick as possible. But some of them, it was just landing right where, as soon as I pull and squeeze, it was just landing back where it needed to be. So that that's not a line break. That's a C. 1, 2, 3 in the C zone. I'll take that all day long. But guys, for what it's worth, the Tisas DS9 double stack duty is definitely worth the money. You can step into the competition area with that, and it will perform very well as long as you practice with it. If you like this kind of content, hit that like, share, subscribe, come back and enjoy some more videos with me, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to hype up the videos as well too. If you have the option to do that, please do that. That helps out the channel tremendously. I have a Patreon, but I'm just not going to push that to you guys. I don't want you spending money unless you're spending money on stuff that you actually need. Vector stuff there, because I'm doing so much of the Vector content. I know that's what you guys are seeing from me right now. It's an overload of it, but it is what it is. They're sponsoring me as far as giving me the optics, giving me the opportunity to review all of their products, and I'm happy to do it. And I will bring you guys some more budget options and high-end options as well too. And you'll be looking forward to some more competition shooting as well. I'm diving deep into that stuff right now. So if you guys want to see some more of that, stay tuned, come back and enjoy some more of the videos.